Alrighty, good afternoon everybody. This is Robert at Scott Leroy Marketing. We're getting started with our Kelle Overview. Kelle is the artificial intelligence app that KW International has created to help agents to run their business. It's connected to the KW Command new CRM that they're working on. This is going to be, before we get started, let's go ahead and show everybody how you're going to be sending me questions if you do have questions. So if you'll look up near the very top of your screen, you should have these same 5 buttons that I do. If you'll click on this one just to the left of center, that'll open up the chat window here. If you have questions, feel free to send me those questions here as we go through the class. I will be monitoring that. I'm also sending a couple of notes here as we get started here. This class is recorded, should be available within hopefully just a couple of hours, if not by the latest tomorrow, at slmtraining.com. That's S as in Scott, L as in Leroy, M as in marketing, training.com. Excuse me. And then you can also call in using your phone if you want to listen that way, if you're having trouble maybe with your computer speakers. Okay, let me get this minimized here. And then switch over to our MyKW page here. We're actually not going to be doing much here in MyKW. I just wanted to have this as a backdrop. I'm actually bringing up my phone screen here. This is my iPhone here. This is going to look very similar between iPhone and Android. There are just a couple of features that are going to look a little bit different. But the first step to getting Kelle, or to getting started with Kelle, is of course to go and download the app. So you can go to your app store if you're on an iPhone, or if you're on Android, you go to the Google Play Store and you would search for Kelle, K-E-L-L-E. And when you find it, the icon is this nice teal icon with the white KW right in the middle. It looks very similar to the regular KW app, but instead it's teal with the white KW. Once you've got it downloaded and installed, you'll want to open that up, and it already has me signed in here, but I'm going to show you guys a real quick thing about getting signed in. Whenever it decides it wants to load. Okay, so this is what it'll look like in the App Store. I do want to point out that it's not available on Windows Phone or on BlackBerry. That's not available on either of those platforms. It's only iPhone and Android, just like the KW app. Once you've downloaded Kelle and you open it up, it's going to look very similar to this when you open it. You're going to sign in using your MyKW username and password. So the same username and password you use to sign into mykw.kw.com or to sign into command@agent.kw.com, that same username and password. The username is not going to be your @kw.com email address. Even when that used to be possible for the MyKW platform, it actually has never been possible here for Kelle or for the KW app. So you want to make sure to sign in using your actual username. And if you need that information, you can check your original MyKW setup complete email that we sent you, or your MCA can help you to look up your username in the white pages. Actually, let me go back here one thing. Once signed in, you can actually enable Touch ID on iOS devices, or if you're on an iPhone X or newer, you can enable Face ID. Both Touch ID and Face ID should both work for Kelle. So that was just a note for me. Once you're signed in, you'll get a pop-up notification for allowing notifications. More than likely, you do want to allow those notifications. That way you can get real-time updates on your referrals, and then eventually on your contracts and on your opportunities, what they're called, or you can also call them your deals, your transactions that are in progress. You can get notifications on like follow-up reminders and things like that here in Kelle if you do allow those notifications. So probably you do want to go ahead and do that. Now, every once in a while, this may happen. It is a fairly new system. It's only a little over a year old, and there are sometimes issues, especially the server error issue. And if you do have any issues signing into MyKW, you know your login information is correct. You know this should be letting you in, but you're still either not getting signed in or it's giving you some kind of error message here. Unfortunately, that's not anything we are going to be able to help with. KW International holds 100% of the strings when it comes to working with Kelle, working on the back end. So you would actually need to reach out to KW International Support directly, and you can use that email or that phone number that's on the screen there. Oh, before we get moving too much further, I do want to point out that for the recording on this class, I am moving fairly quickly. because we have a limited amount of time to cover everything we need to cover. So if you're watching this on a recording, you are more than welcome to pause the video and work at your own pace. If I show you something here on the screen and you're having trouble getting it done on your phone, you're welcome to pause the video, do it on your end, and then start it again when you're ready to keep moving on. Okay, so the rest of my slideshow here is a little bit irrelevant. There was a big update right after family reunion that changed the way that Kelle looks. So I'm going to switch back over here to just showing my phone screen. This is the Kelle homepage. It's got a number of different things, and we'll just start below the top here. We're not going to start with this top bar just yet, but we'll start moving down the page here. Right here, this is going to show your most recently contacted contacts. So the most recent person I've had an email conversation with, or a text or a phone call, as noted in my command database, is going to have been this Market Center 196. And there's a couple of other people in here that I may have emailed or called or texted recently. So if you want to reconnect with one of those people, you can actually just swipe this, and you can just tap on whatever method of contact you want, or you can tap on your menu item here, and you can log some additional things here, or you can edit the contact. Moving down there, we've got local insights for nearby. So if I tap on View Map here, we're going to get in more detail about what insights are in just a little bit. But on the map here, and this is going to take some time to load. If it loads, where are we? Oh, okay, wow. This is really, really zoomed in. So this is Commercial Street in Emporia, Kansas. It looks like this agent shared something about, well, apparently himself here in Emporia. So it's information about him. But this is actually supposed to be information about local things. Maybe a local restaurant or a cleaner or a service or something like that is what Insights is supposed to be for. And if there are more than one here, you should be able to swipe through those as well, just like you can with the contacts. Under that, we've got Kelle Snaps. This is going to be market snapshots for different predefined areas in your local area, and this is based on GPS location. So actually, you should have also gotten a pop-up notification asking you whether you want to allow Kelle to use your location. More than likely, you do want her to be able to use your location for things like this. What is this called? A Kelle Snap. So here's a snap for around Commercial Street. This looks like about 6 or 7 blocks, both east and west of Commercial Street, south of 6th Avenue. And if I tap on this, or excuse me, if I tap on View Kelle Snap, it's going to show me what area it's covering here on the map, and there are stats about what's going on in this neighborhood as far as listings. There's 12 total listings in this area. None of them are pending. It doesn't have the average days on market, which in a lot of bigger markets it probably will, but this is a really small market, so it probably doesn't have that information. Average prices, average square foot, and then down here would be stats for sold, but again, this is a small market, not a lot of movement here, so it's not going to have that information there. We also have the option here to share this snap. So if we tap on that share icon, remember anytime you see a square with an arrow pointing out of it, no matter how which direction the arrow is pointing, that means share on a smartphone. That's almost 100% of the time share. So it's asking which view to include in your Kelle Snap. Do you want this to be all? And this is hard to see on the screen here, but we've got all, we've got MC, which is Market Center, we've got Team, and then we've got Me. All and Team are both grayed out for some reason. Team is going to be grayed out because I'm not a member of a team. MC is going to be showing just the listings that are held by my Market Center in this area, and this is going to be just listings that are held by me in this area. So most often you're going to want to share the all version. And then you can also, or you're also going to be required to add a note. So this is a note. And then you would scroll down and tap share. And you can share that via text or email or Facebook or any of the communication apps you might have on your phone. I'm going to cancel that though because I don't actually want to share this. Coming back, using our back button up at the top left here, scrolling down the page a little bit, this is some new videos from KW International. Excuse me, about different things. Let's see, Power Up Self-Preparation from Diana Kokoska. More power-ups from Diana Kokoska. So the power-up sessions, she does one of those every day. There is some other stuff from KW Associates. So this is going to be new relevant stuff from KW Connect, which we covered last week. KW Connect is our second week of the month class. Kelle and referrals, or excuse me, Kelle itself is our third week of the month. And then we're also moving to showing referrals and some additional things in Command on the fourth Wednesday of the month. And then down here at the bottom, excuse me, on the left here, we've got the information icon. Anytime you see the letter I inside something or on a button, I means information pretty much universally. So if I tap on that, it's going to open up the menu of what can I ask Kelle. And if you tap on any of these categories, it's going to show you some, what's that called, example things that you can ask Kelle about whatever that section is. So we can ask Kelle, show my sold listing. So if I tap on that, she'll show me whatever listings I've sold recently. And unfortunately, I don't have any sold listings. I'm not an agent. So if I come back here and instead, let's see, so this is going to be about my listings and then I guess listings around me. So pull up Kelle stats for this area. Let's do that one. So here are those snapshots like it was showing on the home page here. There's a different community called Greystone. This is for the entire zip code, between 12th and commercial, fun stuff here. Coming back out to the list here, one of the ones that everybody's concerned about is like contacts and calendar. Calendar can only read your calendar. It can only look at your Google Calendar based on what you have connected in your KW command settings. It can't actually add anything to your calendar. You would actually need to go to the Google Calendar app and add those that way instead of trying to do them through Kelle. I don't know if that feature is going to be added eventually, but right now it's just looking at the calendar. So I could do something like Kelle, what's on my schedule for today or tomorrow or Friday, things like that. For contacts, we can add a contact, we can edit existing contacts, we can look up information about our contacts, we can ask whose number is such and such, show me contacts in such and such zip code, that kind of thing. Show me contacts added after last month. Let's see what we've got here. So let me actually, I have to come back here. Looks like I got a little lost here. Anyway, point of that information menu is you can tap around and see examples of what Kelle can do for you. This is not an exhaustive list of everything Kelle can do. It's just examples for ideas for you to ask her of things to do and things to show you and things to look up. Next to that, we've got our Ask Kelle box here. This is basically a chat with Kelle. You're going to be sending messages into Kelle to ask her what to do with you. So something like, what is my GCI for, no, not she, GCI for the year. So we'll send that to her, and she's going to tell me I don't have, that's not at all what I asked. Okay then. But that is how you send Kelle things to do or things to look up for you. I could have sworn she could tell me GCI. It might have something to do with the fact that I don't have any GCI. So we'll come back to that in just a minute. Come to the right of that here, we've got this little microphone icon. If you tap on that, it's probably going to ask you whether Kelle can access the microphone and access speech recognition. She does need both of those things in order to be able to use voice commands here. And she is listening to everything I'm saying, and some of it is not coming through exactly correctly. But as soon as I stop speaking, she's going to say, hey, I can't do that. There we go. She couldn't find anything. But if you tap on that microphone, you can tell Kelle, hey, Kelle, look up John Smith. Look up John Smith. She found 3 contacts in my database that match John Smith. I do have 3 different John Smiths here just as examples. Let's see. Look up Scott Fulham. Show Scott Fulham in my contacts. Okay, she doesn't know how to do that. Anyway, so what we're running into here is that Kelle is not as powerful as she's eventually going to be. She's still being worked on, just like all of the labs, excuse me, all the labs tools. So Kelle and Command and all those things still being worked on by KW International, and that's all done through feedback, which we're going to cover how to send feedback about Kelle and things like that a little bit later as we get through the class. Moving down the page a little bit, we're on home currently. If we come over here to commands, this is going to give us the option to get into contacts, insights, map, referrals, and Keller Mortgage. Coming over here to connect, this is going to get into information about what's going on KW Connect as far as your content and your messages and your groups and things like that. Right now, these aren't available in the Kelle app, but if you tap on Open in Connect, it'll take you to your mobile browser so you can sign into KW Connect and access all of those things there. Coming over to consumer, right now there's not really anything to do in here except for adding insights, but right now there's a preview of what's going to be changing in the KW app that clients get to use. So that red icon, there are some big changes that are coming to that was announced at Family Reunion, and this is just a quick preview of what's going on there. And then we've also got the more option down here, and we can access our profile, settings, notification, submit feedback, and also log out of Kelle. So we're going to be covering all those menu items here in just a little bit. For the time being, let's go back to the home page here, and we're going to start up at the very top right here, this little bell icon that currently has 49 on it for me. That's the number of notifications I've gotten through the KW Connect system. So if I tap on that, got all these notifications, mostly from Scott, and this is mostly from, or it's 100% from where I've done other classes as far as working with referrals between me and Scott. So other than referral information, you'll probably get, or you're going to get notifications about activity on your content within KW Connect, activity in your groups in KW Connect, tags in your group, that kind of thing. It's all going to show up here in Kelle, as well as you getting an email notification about it. To work with any of these notifications, I'm actually going to drop back here to my slideshow, see if there's anything relevant about that. There is, but we're going to have to come back to this. Yeah, all that information is old. Okay. All right, so coming back out from notifications, we're going to come back under command. We're just going to work our way to the right. If we tap on contacts, it's going to show me a list of all my contacts that are in my command database. I can filter this if I tap on this drop down at the top. I can sort by, not filter, first name, last name, groups, all these different categories here. So right now it's sorted by first name. I can change it to last name and tap done. So this is going to show me last name, alphabetical first. I can also tap on these arrows here to do its ascending by default, so it's going to show like A first down to Z. If I tap it, it's going to be descending, which is going to be Z down to A. And then I can also add new contacts over at the right, or I can search for contacts just underneath that. This is not great contrast showing you here on the screen, but you should be able to see these things on your phone as well. So I'm going to search for John Smith. There we go, got all my John Smiths here. I can tap on any of these contacts to see the details for that contact, so I can see contact information and addresses and notes and anything else I've added to this contact here. I can also edit this contact, so I can change any of this information in here. Let's see, I could add an address. Type is going to be a home address. I'll check the box for mailing address. It's going to be 123 East Main Street. Gosh, line 4. Who has 4 lines in their address? Anyway, any town. Gosh. Virginia. Call that USA. Postal code 12345. Something like that. Ownership status. What is that? Oh, the status of their address here. So this is own primary. We'll call it that. So then we can save that. So now John has an address in Anytown, Virginia, and it lets me know that that is the mailing address down there. I can also, just underneath the name here, I can tap on this little envelope icon here. I can send him an email to this address that's recorded in command. These other buttons are grayed out here. You're not going to be able to see them on my screen, but you should be able to see them on yours. There's one over here that's a phone icon. If you had a phone number in here for John, you should be able to give him a call or send him a text is the next icon here. That's your text message icon. And then hi Brent, my name's actually Robert. Scott himself doesn't teach this particular class, he does teach some, but the only thing that shows on your homepage is View Kelle Snap. Gotcha. So one of the things I covered earlier in the class is I can't actually, or we can't actually help with anything as far as fixing Kelle if there's something not working the way that it's supposed to. You're actually going to need to contact KW International Support directly, and I'm going to go back to where that contact information is. There we go. So support@kw.com or that phone number right there. So KW International is the only one that can help with errors in the Kelle system. Okay, where was I? Okay, so phone call, text, email. Also got our more options button here, and that'll give us the opportunity to log an interaction for this contact, view the history for activity with this contact, so it'll show me anytime I've texted or emailed or added a note. I can also edit the contact here versus doing that edit button up here at the top right. Coming back out of this contact, we're going to tap on filters up here, and actually let me clear this John Smith search because it applies the search and the filter at the same time. So we'll tap on filters up here, and we can search by groups here. So this will be associates class. There we go. So we'll tap on class and then tap on apply, and that'll show me contacts that were added during a class. I added this Mike Jones one during a class at some point. I can also come up to filters and filter by company. Under that, I can filter by sources, so whether it's from social media or from maybe Zillow or your website or something like that. Source is a field that you can filter by. Their status of whether they're captured or connected. Captured means you just have their information. Connected means you've actually spoken with them or sent them a message. Last contacted date range here, created date range here, modified date range here, birthday date range here. You can filter by phone number, so if you only want to show people in, say, the 850 area code, that's where I'm from in Pensacola, so let's tap apply there. Unable to reach server, so tap to retry, see what happens. So these kind of things are going to happen with the Kelle system for whatever reason. The only thing to do is wait for them to get fixed up or contact KW International Support to see if they can get that fixed for you. Coming back out here to filters, so instead of 850, I'm going to do at kw.com for the email here. Unable to reach server, of course it is. So it looks like filters are not going to be working right now, so I'm just going to tap clear filters down here at the bottom and apply that, and it's just going to show me all my contacts again. Okay, coming back out here to the command menu, under Insights, let's cover what Insights are. Insights are, how do I describe those? Supposed to be little helpful snippets for other agents to see about your local area, your service area where you are the expert. So say there's a really great tax preparer that you work with in your area, and you have maybe a client that's moving to your area and you have an agent that's sending you a referral. That agent that's sending you a referral could look for insights in your area and see, oh, hey, here's this great tax preparer, and maybe mention that tax preparer to the client that they're sending to you, or you can mention that tax preparer to the client that they're sending to you. Especially if your area is a larger area and there's a lot of stuff that you can't go see yourself, you can look for insights from other agents about maybe, you know, a great car wash or pest exterminator or things like that. Insights are to help other agents get to know your area. Whether or not they are in your area. So I do have one insight in here, this one that says close to the beach without the bustle. I posted this a long time ago about the northern Pensacola area, almost up into Alabama. And this is, it's a great place to live. It's where I used to live in Pensacola. It's outside of all the really expensive places to live. It's not right in downtown. It's not right next to the beach. But you can get to the beach in about 30, 45 minutes if you feel like going to the beach. I did that a number of times in the middle of the week just because I felt like going to the beach. It's also self-contained. It's got its own shopping, its own entertainment, things like that. And it's only about 10 or 15 minutes from the really artsy downtown area with even more entertainment. And I shared all that here in this insight, and now other agents or other associates can see, okay, this is maybe a great place for a starter home or people moving here from the military or things like that. Coming back here, I can also add a new insight up here at the top right. By default, it's going to find your, what am I showing here, your location via GPS. So you would go and find, like there's a vet over here somewhere. So I'm going to pretend like there's a vet. This is, I'll just leave that there. Scroll down here. This is a place. For the category, this is not any of these things. Can I add my own? Veterinarian, there we go. Tap on veterinarian there, done. And this one is Emporia Veterinary Hospital And then I would put something about like Dr. Garcia is very knowledgeable about both house pets and farm animals, and he even helps me with my sugar glider, so he works with exotic pets as well. So great all-around vet, very soft-spoken, things like that. So you can share that information here in this insight, and that would help other agents working in your area with their clients. So I'm just going to back out of this because I don't want to actually add that insight. Coming back out to the command menu, if I tap on map, there are a number of different things we can do here on the map screen. So by default, what it's going to be showing you is listings. That's this icon right here that looks like a yard sign. So what I would do is tap search this area, and it's going to show me all the listings in this area. Each of these red dots here with a house symbol on it is a listing. And if I tap on any of these here, it's going to show me a quick preview of what's going on with that listing. So price, address, beds and baths, and square feet. And if I tap anywhere within that preview, it's going to take me to the full listing details from the MLS. This is MLS connected. This is not just KW listings. This is all listings. I believe I can maybe share this listing or tap view this listing. I'm already viewing the listing. Oh, no, I'm viewing a different one. Down at the bottom here, it says comps down at the bottom. So roughly comps. Okay. Coming back here. Coming back out to the map search, so this is listings by default. I can also search city name or zip code here. So I could search 32534. That is Pensacola, Florida. There we go. Tap that fourth one down there, and it'll show me listings in that area. And if I tap on, it's really hard to see here. There's a little tab that pops out here from the search results list with some arrows. If I tap on those arrows, it'll shrink that out to the right, and I can tap on that again to open it back up to show me the list. But this will show me the map view of what's going on in this area. And there are a lot of listings in Pensacola right now. And you can get information about pretty much any listing anywhere if you want to. All right, coming back up to the search bar, let me clear that. Okay, back to map here. Listings is selected by default, but there are a bunch of other options here in the menu if you tap on that. First, we've got agents. This is going to be agents near your area, but this is not going to show their GPS location. This is actually just going to show the location of their market center. You are not going to be able to actually real-time see anybody's location, whether it's agent or even your contacts. There is a spot for contacts here that we'll get to in just a minute, but it's not real-time GPS location based on their phone. You're not going to be able to stalk people this way. Nobody's going to be able to stalk you. This is based on information that's available on different profiles. So there are no agents in my area right here. It's going to show me, yeah, no agents. So if I have to zoom out here and maybe go down to Wichita, search this area, there are 2 market centers in this area. So we're going to tap on this one to the left here, and apparently there are, what's going on here? Looks like this is individual agents, and for some reason it's switching between this Aaron and Teresa. Anyway, so you can get information about these agents. You can add them to your referral network. You can also send them a referral too. If I tap on the name here, you can see their KW Connect profile. Now we're going to get to your KW Connect profile in just a little bit. All right, coming back to map search, I'm going to tap on our menu here again. Contacts is going to show your contacts that have a physical address in KW Command. So if I zoom out here and say I come down here to, nope, not New Orleans, down here toward Pensacola, and I search this area, it's going to show me contacts that have a physical address here. Okay, let me just do the whole country, see what we've got. There we go. I have a handful of contacts that actually have addresses here. So this is going to be addresses from their contact information in KW Connect. Again, this is not real time. This is not tracking their phone's GPS. This is just whether you have an address saved for these contacts in your KW Command database. Okay, where was I? All right, up in this menu again, we've got insights. This is going to show me insights in this area shared by other agents. There are several insights in Wichita, and apparently it's only going to show a certain number, a certain radius of them. And I can tap on any of these insights. We've got Clifton Square, we've got a park here, we've got preschool, we've got, what have we got, Hutchinson Middle School, that kind of thing. You can also view listings is where we were by default. You can also do snaps in this area. So we'll search this area, and here is a Kelle snap here in Wichita. If I tap on this, it looks like there's 2 separate snaps here. If I tap on this, that's the full zip code snap, and I can actually tap into these individual ones here. We've got Cedar Lakes, we've got this one down here, that's Pebblebrook, and you can see all that information just like you could from the home page of the snaps that are around your GPS location. Coming back out to the map, that's pretty much it here. So we'll come back to the command menu. We've got referrals. This is where you can work with referrals that you've sent or received in the KW Connect referral system. And you can do that either here in Kelle or on KW Connect. So we're going to cover a little bit about working with referrals. Let me jump over to that section here. Is this where we are? Okay, so this looks like it's pretty similar. So I'm going to move my phone screen down here. So once you're on the referral screen, you can do everything with referrals that you can do from within KW Connect. You can add to your handpicked referral network. You can send referrals to the agents that are already in your network, and then you can work with any of your existing referrals. So let's tap on that down arrow next to matched. Should be right there in the middle. If you've attended or watched one of our previous Kelle or KW Connect classes, you might be familiar with these different statuses, and we'll cover more on this in just a little bit. Those are statuses for your referrals that you're working with. Okay, apparently I skipped a bunch of stuff here. Okay, hold on. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about working with referrals. From the home page on your Kelle page, let me just go back to the home page here. You can say add so-and-so to my referral network. So add Scott Leroy to my referral network. All right, sending a network invite to Scott Leroy. You can send your message, you can save it, and that'll send that over to Scott. And Scott has the option to join or not join my referral network. Okay, so this information, so to show everyone currently in your referral network, you would want to type or say, gosh, they moved things around, so let's come back to this. All right, so coming to the More menu on the home page, let's go into Settings real quick. And there's only one setting to change here in Kelle, and it's listening for Hey Kelle. Last time I did this class, it was just about a month ago. At that point, Hey Kelle wasn't working for Android. It was only working for iPhone. So if anybody has Android and you are able to turn on Hey Kelle on your Android, definitely let me know, so I can get that updated for next time I do this class. But for right now, as far as I know, it's only working on iPhone. And what you can do is anytime you have the Kelle app open and you're on the home page, Kelle is listening for Hey Kelle, very similar to Hey Siri or Hey Google or Hey Alexa. And here's Siri trying to listen for my voice. Very similar to that, except for one big difference. Kelle is expecting a pause after you say Hey Kelle. So you would say Hey Kelle, pause, show my referral network, rather than Hey Google, set a timer for such and such. You don't have to pause with them, but with Kelle you do have to pause. So let's come back out to the home page here, and we'll do that. Show my referral network. There we go, we've got our referral network right here. You can swipe sideways. It looks like this is very similar to the way that it used to be. So you can swipe sideways through your referral network list there and to see those agents, and you can call or text or email them from this list, or you can open up that menu, those three horizontal dots there, to follow them on KW Connect, see their latest posts on KW Connect, remove them from your referral network, or send them a new referral. To view somebody's profile, just tap on their picture or on their name. While you're viewing their profile, you can also contact them using those same options, email, text, and phone. You can also see the statistics that they've chosen to display on their profile, such as year joined, closed units for the past year, closed volume for the past year, things like that. So let's see. From the Kelle homepage, you can type or say send a referral to so-and-so. This person does not necessarily have to already be in your referral network. That is the way it used to be when it first came out, first 30 or 60 days. You could only send referrals to people that were already in your referral network. But apparently enough people wanted to send referrals to people that they didn't actually connect with, whether or not they wanted them, that KW International changed that, and you can send a referral to anybody at any time. Kelle will show a list of possible matches that meet that name, and you would just tap select on the correct one. So for this John Smith here, you would tap select on whichever one of those. You could say send a referral to Scott Leroy, send a referral to Gary Keller, and you would tap select on whoever you want to send that to. Once it opens up the referral form, you would complete all of the fields. They are all required. So your referral fee, your deadline, what type, location for your referral, and then down at the bottom there's notes. Even notes is required. All fields are required before you tap on send up at the top right. When someone sends a referral to you, you'll get a notification both within Kelle and you'll get an email notification. So remember that bell icon we covered earlier in the class? That's where you'll get that notification here in Kelle. You can tap View within Kelle's notifications to see the details of that referral. In the details of the referral, you have the option to accept the referral as it is, counter with a new referral fee, or reject the referral outright. If you decide you want to accept the referral as it is, you'll just tap on accept, and you can send an optional note of thanks or how well you're going to take care of that client or something like that to the agent who sent you this referral. If you decide that the referral fee offered isn't acceptable, you can actually counter with a higher or lower percentage. Note that 25% is the default setting, but it can be raised or lowered when sending each and every referral. You'll also choose how long the referring agent has to accept or reject or counter your counter. You can also send a note describing your reason for asking for a higher or lower percentage. So say somebody sent you a buyer referral and they want 50% of the commission. It's a little bit ridiculous. You can counter that referral and say, okay, let's bring that back to 25%, which is the norm. From there, the ball is in that referring agent's court to accept or deny or counter your counter. If you decide to reject the referral, you can enter an optional note of apology saying, you know, that referral fee isn't acceptable. I don't really want to work in that area. Your referral sounds like somebody I don't want to work with, that kind of thing. You can view a list of all active referrals, those that are not rejected or completed, by asking Kelle to show my active referrals. So let me bring this up here. Show my active referrals. I don't have any active referrals, but if it did, if I did, it would look something very similar to this. From here, you can again swipe sideways between awaiting response, outbound referrals, or inbound referrals. Awaiting response means either you or the other agent need to accept or counter or reject. And then you've got outbound means referrals sent from you to the other agent, or inbound means sent from the other agent to you, whether or not it was countered. Outbound means it originated from you. Inbound means it originated from the other agent, whether or not they're being countered right now. If you do accept a referral, or if the referring agent accepts your counter, it's very good to keep that referring agent abreast of how the transaction is going. While you're viewing the details of that referral, you would just tap on update down at the bottom to send a status note to the referring agent. You know, just had a showing appointment with this person on Saturday. We saw a couple of houses, pretty interested in one, but would like to do a little more research, things like that. Once a referral transaction is over, whether because the deal was closed or because it didn't work out for some reason, you're going to want to complete that referral. You're just going to use those earlier steps to view your active referrals. Just say, hey, Kelle, show my active referrals. Then you'll open up the details of that referral and tap complete down at the bottom instead of update. You'll tell the system and the referring agent whether the transaction did or did not close, and then you'll add a note, and then you'll tap complete. So if the transaction did close, you actually don't have to add a note, but if it did not close, you're going to have to explain why. You know, financing fell through, they decided not to move, they decided to go with a different agent, I decided not to work with this client because they're ridiculous, that kind of thing. So now this referral won't show up under active referrals anymore. It'll show up under closed referrals. So to see those referrals that are no longer active, you would ask Kelle to show closed referrals. So show my closed referrals. There we go. Here's my lost referrals. Got my closed funded referrals, and then referrals that expired. I didn't respond in enough time to actually accept the referral. And you can tap on any of those to see the details of that referral, very similar to while it was active. You can even reopen that referral if you wanted to. Okay, back down here. While you're viewing any referral, you can view their activity log, whether or not it's active or completed. You would just open up the details for that referral and then tap on activity log up at the very top right. You'll see the initial request, any counters, the acceptance of that referral, any update notes, and then if or when the deal was closed or lost. Now, do note that the oldest activity, for example, the initial request, is going to be at the bottom of the list with the most recent activity at the top. Okay, so that's it for referrals. So coming back out to the home page. Last thing under this commands menu here is Keller Mortgage. I'm not actually a member of Keller Mortgage, so I'm not going to be able to show you anything with that. But coming over here to, we're not going to do Connect either, or Consumer, or More, actually. Actually, under the More menu, you can tap Submit Feedback here. So if there's something that's not working correctly or an idea for something you'd like to have added to Kelle, you can definitely send that recommendation to KW International Support. I think those are all the high points that I really wanted to cover. So we've got a good bit of time here. So let's open that up for questions. All right, I have a question here from reviewer 3. How do I add people to my referral network? Very simple. You tap your microphone here. Add John Smith to my referral network. There we go, found 10 contacts that match John Smith. You would swipe through those and see which one it is you actually want. We'll go with this guy because he's got a tie. I would tap select, and then I would send the invitation to this agent to for him to decide whether or not he wants to be in my referral network. That's going to do it for our Kelle Overview class here. This class is, like I said, recorded, should be available within just a couple of hours at slmtraining.com. If you do think of questions after the class, if you have an aha moment later, or if you're watching the recording and you have a question, feel free to send those over to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. Thank you.